What if I told you that just a single sentence, merely a few well-chosen words, delivered at the perfect moment, could ignite instant attraction in a woman's mind, not owing to your physical appearance, nor your professional standing, but because your words penetrated her emotions in a way she couldn't possibly disregard? What if you possessed the ability to speak so that she would lean in, slowly smile, and begin to perceive you in a new light, without you needing to impress or convince her of anything at all? These 6 distinct phrases are not mere tricks. They are powerful tools. They are deeply rooted in psychology, emotion, and timeless human dynamics. And when articulated correctly, they trigger something profound within her: curiosity, a sense of challenge, intrigue. They fundamentally flip the script, because when you comprehend how women emotionally connect and learn to speak in ways that strike that emotional core, you will never again have to chase anyone. Every phrase I am about to unveil is specifically crafted to keep you in her thoughts long after the conversation has concluded. If you employ these correctly, women will feel as though they have discovered something truly rare in you, and they will not wish to relinquish it. Before we delve into this invaluable information, take a powerful action. Support this mission. Hit that subscribe button. By doing so, you are not only elevating your own life, but you are also helping to make this type of insight accessible to millions of men who desperately need to hear it. Men who are weary of being overlooked, tired of the friend zone, and exhausted by never standing out. When you offer your support, we expand. And when we expand, we transform lives. Yours, mine, and his. Now, let's explore the words that make her heart lean in, even before she fully understands why. The power of emotional connection. Phrase 1. You have a unique way about you. I like that. Most men mistakenly believe they must flatter a woman's beauty to capture her attention. They casually offer compliments like, "You're genuinely pretty," or "You look stunning tonight," expecting these words to land with impact. However, women encounter such phrases daily. It's not that they dislike compliments. It's that the majority of them are hollow, superficial, and entirely unoriginal. They fail to feel special because they don't touch anything authentic. They don't generate an emotional spark. But then comes this singular sentence: "You have a unique way about you. I like that." And suddenly, everything slows down. This phrase functions as a weapon of attraction because it directly accesses the part of her that yearns for individual recognition, not just generic attention. Recognition is subtle, enigmatic, and utterly unexpected, and it compels her mind to perform a powerful function. It makes her wonder what you observed, what you sensed, what you genuinely noticed. It opens a cognitive loop in her brain that doesn't immediately close. She will begin to reevaluate her own actions and presence, thinking, what is it about me that he perceives as unique? Was it my storytelling, my laughter, my confidence, my charming awkwardness? And as she engages in this introspection, she starts connecting emotionally to your words. That is the profound power of a compliment that leaves ample room for curiosity. You are not revealing everything. You are exposing just enough to ignite a spark. That mystery generates tension, and tension, when executed correctly, is pure magnetism. Now, let's dissect this further. What do you truly mean when you say this? How do you employ it in a manner that avoids sounding trite? You do not use it haphazardly. You deploy it at a moment of authentic connection, when she genuinely reveals something real about herself. Perhaps she confides a childhood memory, or she becomes animated while discussing a passion project, or she shares a peculiar but clever joke that most others might overlook. That is your cue. You pause. You let the moment breathe. You hold her gaze not in a disconcerting way, but with a steady, calm intensity, and you utter it slowly, as if you are discerning something truly rare. You have a unique way about you. I like that. The crucial element is your tone. Say it as if you have just unearthed something immensely valuable about her. Make it sound like a spontaneous realization in that precise moment. If you rush it, or over-explain it, its power diminishes. The strength of this phrase resides in its masterful understatement. You are not striving to impress her, you are observing her. And that, in itself, is rare. Because here's what no one ever tells you. Most women feel emotionally invisible. Certainly, they may be noticed for their looks. But how often does someone truly observe how they think, how they laugh, or how their eyes light up when they speak about what they cherish? That is precisely where this line resonates deeply. It transcends the superficial. It communicates, I perceive something within you that most people fail to notice. I am paying close attention. You stand out. And the most exquisite part is, it doesn't just make her feel valued, it compels her to reveal even more of herself to you. She will emotionally lean in. She will share additional stories. She will begin to peel back her layers because she now feels she is with someone who truly perceives her essence, not just her external appearance. Over time, she will inextricably link you with the profound feeling of being deeply seen, and that emotional imprint is far more potent than any pickup line, any superficial compliment, or any boastful display. So, employ this line, but employ it judiciously. Use it when the moment is genuine, and articulate it with the calm, grounded energy of a man who doesn't merely look, he truly sees. She will never forget that moment, and she will never forget you. Phrase 2. I like women who know what they want. This stands as one of the most remarkably underestimated phrases a man can utter. On the surface, it may sound like a simple compliment, but at its core, it is something far more formidable. It is a quiet challenge, an implicit standard, a discerning filter. Most men, particularly when attracted to a woman, instinctively attempt to secure her approval. They voice things they believe she desires to hear. They agree too readily, smile excessively, and try too strenuously to impress her, hoping that if they are sweet, intelligent, or amusing enough, she will ultimately select them. However, what this behavior unknowingly accomplishes is a shift in the energy. She suddenly becomes the prize, and he becomes the one pursuing. He is auditioning. He is proving his worth. And whether women are fully cognizant of it or not, that energy becomes predictable and, eventually, uninteresting. But when you look a woman directly in the eye, calm, composed, and self-assured, and you state, I like women who know what they want, everything fundamentally changes. You are no longer seeking her validation. You are not striving to win her over. You are articulating a preference, a standard, and that subtly redirects the conversation from, am I good enough for her? to, is she what I am looking for? It is a small but impactful pivot, because she is now the one qualifying herself to you. She begins to ponder, do I appear confident to him? Do I come across as someone who knows what I want? Am I meeting his standard? That internal questioning is precisely what cultivates attraction on a profound level. Not only are you perceived as selective, but you are also reinforcing a message she rarely hears. You are not available to just anyone. Here's the underlying psychology of why this resonates so powerfully. Women deeply admire men who embody clarity, clarity of thought, clarity of purpose, and clarity in their values. When you declare, I like women who know what they want, you are revealing your attraction to clarity in others, which in turn reflects the clarity you possess within yourself. This makes you appear strong, deeply rooted, reliable, exceptionally rare, and extraordinarily attractive. Now, the timing of this phrase is crucial. It is best employed in moments when she is demonstrating some level of decisiveness or leadership. Perhaps she confidently places an order at a restaurant, boldly shares her opinion, or articulates her aspirations in life. That is when you deliver this line. You meet her gaze, offer a subtle nod, and express it with quiet admiration. I like women who know what they want. Then, pause. Allow it to settle. Do not immediately follow it with anything soft or apologetic. You are not saying it for her approval. You are simply expressing your values. When you hold that line with calm energy, it generates a kind of emotional gravity. It draws her toward you. It is also incredibly effective when she directly asks you about the type of woman you are interested in. Most men would stumble, offering vague responses like, "I don't really have a type," or "someone who's nice, I guess." Such answers are vague and instantly forgettable. Instead, if you calmly respond with, "I like women who know what they want," you achieve two things simultaneously. You communicate strength, and you spark an intriguing challenge. She will now begin to measure herself against your standard. Here's the critical point. Once you've uttered it, ensure your actions are in alignment. If she displays indecisiveness, insecurity, or flakiness, do not pursue. Because if you pursue someone who doesn't meet the standard you vocally expressed, your words will lose all weight. But if you remain grounded, calm, and consistent, she will sense the profound difference. She will perceive that you are not merely speaking, but living that standard. That is when the magic truly unfolds. She begins to invest more deeply in the conversation. She leans forward slightly more. She opens up. She starts to desire being perceived as the kind of woman who knows what she wants. And that is not manipulation. It is pure magnetism. It is a healthy dynamic where both individuals are rising to meet each other's energy, rather than engaging in manipulative games. So remember, do not speak to impress. Speak to express your intrinsic values. This singular simple phrase, "I like women who know what they want," will entirely flip the script from you pursuing her to her contemplating how to maintain your interest. Phrase 3, "That's what I like most about you." This phrase may appear unassuming, but it possesses incredible potency when utilized correctly. It is a statement that transforms you from a man who offers superficial compliments into a man who genuinely sees her. For most women, that experience is rare, emotionally rare, and utterly unforgettable. You see, the majority of compliments women receive focus on the obvious: her appearance, her fashion, perhaps her smile, and certainly, those compliments can feel pleasant in the moment, but they do not linger. They do not cultivate emotional depth. They do not leave a lasting imprint. Why? Because every man notices what's on the surface. It requires no particular skill, no insight, and no emotional connection to utter, "You're beautiful." But it does demand presence and keen awareness to say, that passion you display when discussing your goals. That's what I find most compelling about you. That is the fundamental difference between being forgettable and being truly unforgettable. This phrase is effective because it transcends a mere compliment. It acts as a mirror. You are reflecting back something authentic about her that often goes unobserved by others. When you speak these words, you are not attempting to flatter. You are recognizing a specific quality that makes her feel genuinely understood. When a woman experiences being understood by a man, she begins to open up in a way she typically reserves for no one else. Let's delve deeper. Imagine she is discussing her career, not just the title, but the underlying motivation. Perhaps her eyes light up when she speaks about helping others. Or perhaps there's a quiet intensity in her voice when she describes her ambition. Perhaps she allows herself a moment of vulnerability, and you discern profound strength within it. That is your opportune moment. You look at her, not with effusive praise, but with calm appreciation, and you state, "That's what I like most about you. The depth of your caring, it's genuine, it's rare." Now, pause. Resist the urge to rush into further explanation. Allow it to resonate. That brief silence following your words is immensely powerful. It grants her the space to truly absorb them. Here is what you have accomplished in that moment. You have validated something profoundly meaningful. You have made her feel emotionally seen. You have created a shared memory that exists uniquely between you and her. That single sentence becomes a distinct fingerprint on her mind. She will not forget it. Not because it is poetic, but because it touched a part of her that most men never manage to access. The power of this phrase amplifies when you use it sparingly. You do not utter it to every woman. You do not say it prematurely. You speak it when the moment is authentic, when she is truly revealing her inner self, and you articulate it in a tone that feels anchored and grounded, because it's not solely the words that carry weight, it is your presence behind them. Let's say she is quietly assisting someone, not for recognition, but because it's simply who she is. Or perhaps she demonstrates her ambition without any hint of bragging. Perhaps she shares something deeply emotional, and you perceive the courage woven into her words. That is when you slow down, lower your voice slightly, and say, "That right there, that's what I like most about you." What transpires next is not merely emotional, it is magnetic. She feels an undeniable pull toward you, not because you bestowed attention upon her, but because you granted her genuine recognition. That taps into a craving almost every woman possesses deeply, being valued for her essence, not solely her appearance. If you wish to understand what truly distinguishes a man, what makes a woman think about him days later, it is this: he made her feel emotionally significant. Most men never venture into that territory. You will? The most beautiful aspect is that when you declare, "That's what I like most about you," you are not just offering a compliment, you are fundamentally altering how she perceives herself in that precise moment. That is attraction at its deepest level. That is the kind of moment that truly echoes. Phrase 4, "I don't know if you can handle me." This phrase is bold, not due to its volume, but because it subtly suggests something profound beneath the surface. When you state, "I don't know if you can handle me," you are communicating to her, without explicitly saying it, that you are not merely an ordinary man seeking immediate approval. You possess layers. You embody substance, energy, distinct standards, and perhaps even a touch of intrigue and chaos. And this combination is not for everyone. Most men present themselves as an open book. They strive to be as accessible, easygoing, and agreeable as possible, hoping that by being straightforward and non-threatening, they will be liked. But what transpires when a woman feels she already knows everything about a man? Her curiosity dissipates, and without curiosity, attraction swiftly dies. This phrase disrupts that conventional pattern. It introduces a measure of friction, but in a playful, engaging manner. It subtly implies that you are a challenge, and that, when delivered with confidence and self-control, is incredibly attractive. Why? Because challenges awaken something inherent in people. They ignite effort, intrigue, and emotional investment, and that is precisely what you desire. Let's visualize the scenario. She is playfully teasing you. Perhaps she states she's difficult to impress. Maybe she confidently asserts her capacity to handle anything, or her fearlessness. That is when you lean back slightly, allow a knowing smile to form on your face, and state, "I don't know if you can handle me." Then, silence. Let that line linger for a moment. What you have just accomplished is a complete reframe of the entire dynamic. She believed she was being bold. She believed she was challenging you, but you flipped the script with one concise sentence. Now she is wondering what quality about you she might not be able to handle. Is it your ambition, your intellectual depth, your unique lifestyle, your emotional intelligence, your unshakable confidence? She doesn't know, but now she is compelled to find out. This is where the line acquires its immense power, not because of its explicit meaning, but because of what it profoundly suggests. It hints at the unknown. It causes her to speculate, to wonder, and perhaps even to test you slightly, just to ascertain if you are bluffing. That is a positive sign. It indicates she is engaged, curious, and emotionally activated. But here is the most crucial aspect. You must substantiate it with your actions. You cannot declare, "I don't know if you can handle me," and then revert to behaving like every other man, over-explaining, pursuing, seeking approval. Your behavior must align with your message. That means maintaining a calm, grounded demeanor, remaining unbothered by her reactions. It means possessing a clear understanding of your self-worth and not needing her to validate anything about you to feel valuable. What you are truly communicating is this: I am not for everyone, and that is perfectly acceptable. I am not here to be easy. I am here to be real. If you seek superficiality, there are more readily available options. But if you desire depth, challenge, and intensity, then you had better be prepared. That is the essence of this phrase. It is not arrogance. It is selectivity. It is confidence rooted in your own complexity, and it is magnetic. If she is prepared, if she is sufficiently intrigued to lean in and attempt to discern your meaning, that is when the dynamic decisively shifts in your favor, because now she is investing. She is pursuing a feeling. She is stepping into your world, not the other way around. So, do not casually utter this phrase. Employ it when the timing is impeccable. Articulate it with calm certainty. Allow your eyes to convey its full weight. Then, let her contemplate it in the ensuing silence for a beat, and observe what unfolds next. Phrase 5. I'm not that easy. I'm not that easy is far more than a clever retort. It is a subtle, yet powerful, declaration of your inherent value. It communicates to her, without any hint of ego, that you will not capitulate at the first sign of attention. This message is profoundly rare. Why? Because most men fail to grasp how quickly they reveal their hand. A single compliment, a solitary smile from a woman, and they are immediately falling over themselves to please her. They initiate the chase before there is even a valid reason to do so. In that precise moment, the value equation is inverted. She becomes the one who determines your worthiness, and you become just another man attempting to gain favor. But the instant you calmly state, I'm not that easy, everything changes. Suddenly, you are not merely reacting. You are not inspired by her charm or her tests. You are cool, centered, and unaffected, not because you dislike her, but because you possess an inherent understanding of your own self-worth. It is not something to be freely given away simply because someone expresses interest. That calm resistance is profoundly attractive. The beauty of this phrase lies in its light-hearted surface, while beneath, it carries an energy of discipline and discerning selectivity. You are communicating, I do not indiscriminately offer my attention, my time, or my approval. It must be earned, and that very concept is intoxicating to the right kind of woman. Let's discuss its delivery. Employ this phrase when she is teasing you, testing you, or perhaps when she makes a flirtatious overture, anticipating your immediate capitulation. Instead of reacting with desperation or nervous laughter, you maintain your ground. Look her directly in the eye. Allow a playful smile to subtly grace your face, and with calm confidence, state, I'm not that easy. Then pause. Do not rush, do not backtrack or over-explain. Just let it linger in the air. That moment of pause is where the true magic occurs. Her mind will begin to race. Did he just push back? Did he just resist me? Is he genuinely serious? Whether she overtly shows it or not, a subtle spark of emotional tension will ignite within her, and that tension is attraction. Here's what you are truly accomplishing. You are establishing a boundary with charming finesse. You are communicating that merely because she is attractive or charismatic does not automatically grant her access to you. You are letting her know that your presence carries a price, and that price demands effort, honesty, respect, and genuine interest. That is a rare frame, one inhabited only by high-value men. Now, let's delve even deeper. Why does this work so exceptionally well, particularly in romantic or flirtatious contexts? Because when a woman perceives that a man possesses options but consciously chooses selectivity, it demonstrates control. It signifies strength. It reveals that he is not emotionally needy, that he is not addicted to external validation, and that he does not crumble merely because someone is paying attention to him. Instead of pursuing her approval, he is filtering her just as rigorously as she might be filtering him. When you project that energy in a fun, playful, non-defensive manner, you become the man she finds intriguing. You become the man who is different, the man who might possess more depth than what is immediately apparent. Let's be candid. Mystery is attractive, but mystery devoid of confidence feels like insecurity. Mystery combined with calm, grounded confidence is utterly irresistible. One final point. Do not employ this line as a mere script or tactic. Use it as an authentic expression of your underlying mindset. You genuinely are not that easy. You genuinely do have standards. If you embody that truth, if it is more than just a phrase, it will carry immense emotional weight when you articulate it too. The next time she leans in a little too confidently, the next time she assumes she has you completely captivated without any effort, just smile and gently state, "I'm not that easy." Observe what transpires. Then, watch as she begins to actively work for your attention, instead of the dynamic being reversed. If you master these 6 phrases, not just what to say, but how to say them, something profound will shift. Conversations will flow more effortlessly. Women will lean in. They will listen differently. They will feel differently. You will no longer be chasing. You will be remembered. Attraction is never about sheer volume. It is fundamentally about the vibe. When you learn to speak from this level of grounded power, your very presence will communicate volumes even before you utter a single word. If this content has assisted you, support this vital mission. Subscribe, because this platform exists to empower you with real strength, not empty rhetoric. With your invaluable support, we will reach thousands more men who urgently need this insight. Men who are prepared to cease settling and begin truly rising.